Hello, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor, bringing you another video on how to raise your vibration so you can live your best life. I am on freaking cloud nine. And I want to share this with you. And I'm sure if you watched yesterday's vlog post, you know that I am coming out of a very intensive Brainspotting continued education session, and I just cannot speak highly enough of this modality. And some interesting things have been happening. Traditionally, while it is still a very new modality, it is typically used in therapy sessions for healing trauma. What's fascinating is how this has evolved for me personally. And I have been doing brain spotting for probably close to 6 months now with my therapist. And I've understood the modality and the strategies, if you will, but I want to say that very loosely because it's really just not about doing at all. It's more about being and allowing, and I'll explain exactly how it works and what it is in a minute. But what I want to say is that it has brought to light insights around how our mechanism is supposed to work. And if you follow me, you know I use the analogy of, driving a sports car. Maybe we're driving, I don't know, I keep saying Ferrari. I promise I'll look. How about Lamborghini? I'm pretty sure that one is different. Driving a Lamborghini like a Ford, it just doesn't work, right? And we have this mechanism of a body that is designed to be our vehicle, and yet we don't understand how to work with it. That's what has really driven me towards psychology and understanding the mind and the neurobiology and how do we work with this stuff. And I'm in such awe and so grateful for what is coming through and the guidance and the clarity that I am being graced with so that I can share it with you. I just really feel like a conduit. I can't take any credit for it, and I'm humbled that I've been chosen to share this with you. And it is truly not only life-changing, but world-changing. And as I was going through these 3 days intensive, waking up at 3:30 a.m., which was actually not such a bad thing because I was done by noon and, still technically had time for my kids, although I didn't have energy. So we have to talk about that. I need to add that to my list. But it is profound. It is very profound. And the term meat suit came to mind as I was going through this, that the way we have viewed the body is almost as an adversary instead of an asset. And that when we can start to reposition ourselves, and the other term that just came to mind is the body as a temple. That we know that we're supposed to eat well. We know that we're supposed to take care of our bodies, and that we raise our vibration as we eat better food, or fasting can bring clarity and stillness of mind. But there was just, and maybe it's, just me personally, I shouldn't discredit it in that way. That is something I'm working on. But there's new levels. There is new power available in this, and there is new clarity and new levels of peace and new levels of stillness and new levels of healing that are available through this. That oftentimes when we feel a big emotion, there's a couple of things that happen in the brain. One, culturally, we're told not to feel. Feelings are bad, feelings are weak, emotions are bad, that we should just stuff them down, we should ignore them, we shouldn't express them. And there's a general sense of fear around them, that emotions are scary. And I know for me, experiencing some very traumatic things in my childhood, the night that, I told my mom that I was going to tell somebody that our stepfather was abusing us, and she said, "No, you won't." And I said, "Yes, I will." And she said, "No, you won't." And I said, "Then I'll leave." And she said, "You'll never survive." And I said, "Watch me." And I crawled out that window at 16 years old. And I can remember very vividly, almost as if it's happening in my body right now, the waves of fear and the waves of How will I survive? And the scariness that came through in that moment. I was scared that they would overtake me. I was scared that I would be overwhelmed, that I would be overcome by the emotion. And nobody teaches us that emotions are our friends. Nobody teaches us that emotions pass. Nobody teaches us that we have to feel feelings to be able to process them. There's so many life skills, those moments of like, why didn't they teach me this in school? You know, they just keep coming. There's more and more every day. And so the biggest thing to understand around feelings and emotions, and there is a differentiation that I'm still kind of asking for guidance on, clarity, how to articulate this, that the brain can lie to us, especially the traumatized brain can lie to us and tell us there's danger when there really isn't. It can trick us. And so we have to have a level of discernment around our feelings and our emotions. But at the same time, they can heal us if we allow ourselves to feel them, to sit with them, to be with them, and to treat them as an asset and a friend. And while we fear being overcome by the emotion, what we need to know is that our body and our mind is built to regulate, that we have a window of tolerance. I'll kind of use the screen as the window of tolerance here, that the emotion will peak and it will come to a very, very scary high level, but then it will go down and it'll come back up and it'll go back down and it'll come back up and it'll go back down. And as we surf these waves, we ride like a freaking warrior through the big scary feelings, the big seemingly monsters that we can't look at, that we hide from, that we stuff down. That as they peak and they dissipate, they actually become very small. They hold so little power after we sit with them, we process them, that ebb and that flow is the letting go, is how we get it out of us. I talk a lot about trauma, and if you were not seen, safe, heard, cared for, loved, protected, nurtured as a child, that falls in the bucket of complex trauma. And if you don't identify with having trauma, if that, irks the ego, fine, put it on the back shelf. If you have any doubt of your worthiness, if you question whether or not you're important or valuable, if you've ever told yourself, I'm bad or wrong or broken, or there's something wrong with me, I have to hide, I have to become what everybody else wants me to be, I have to stuff down my emotions, I can't nurture my needs are invalid, any of that falls into this bucket. That becomes a program in your limbic brain, the stem of your brain. It's also called the reptilian part of your brain. It's the oldest part of the brain. It's the first to develop. It's the part that houses those programs from 0 to 7. So in ages 0 to 7, we're in programming states of mind, alpha, theta. We're observing the world around us, trying to figure out what are the rules of the game here. How do I operate? How do I survive? The brain's job is to keep you safe, to protect you, to conserve energy. And so as you grow up in this situation that is not nurturing or safe, you learn that there's something wrong with you and there's something wrong with what you need. And so the brain, in its infinitely beautiful design, perfect as it is, tries to keep you safe by saying, I can't control those people that are hurting me, but I can control myself. So I'm going to make me the problem. Who I am is a problem, what I need is a problem. And so I can't be those things anymore. And we internalize that belief, and it becomes the filter through which everything is run. What do I say? Who do I say it to? How do I say it? What do I wear? How do I speak? How do I show up? What do I ask for? What do I not ask for? Everything is predicated on whether or not I feel valuable and worthy enough to ask for these things. Even when someone is reaching out and offering you a hand and saying, I will be here for you and love on you no matter what, that trauma filter will come up and say, what's wrong with them? Why do they love me? Why? They must be trying to trick me. They must want something from me. So, to cope, to survive with being broken, bad, and inherently wrong, we have to stuff down the emotions. And so what happens is the brain identifies the trauma, the external event that threatens our lives, right, seemingly, and it creates a flood of all of the stress hormones, the cortisol, the adrenaline. It rushes into our body, and depending on the level of severity or the continued sustained unsafe environment, it builds up and it builds up and it builds up, and the body's trying to send it back to the brain, and the brain's going, no, I have too much, I've got more for you, I can't process this. And so the body becomes full of trauma and stress and undealt with emotion, stuck emotion. Energy in motion is how emotion is supposed to operate. It's supposed to ebb and flow. But when we press it down, we force the body to hold on to it. We don't have space to allow it to come back up and out. Then the body falls into disease because it is at dis-ease. Most commonly, we develop autoimmune diseases where it seems like the body is attacking itself, but it's really not. It's just trying to survive and find a way to get this out. Your skin is your largest detoxing organ. Your body is trying to let it go. So, brain spotting is beautiful for setting up a place and a space to allow the infinite wisdom of the healing abilities of the body. That the brain thinks it's supposed to do all the work and figure out all the solutions and fix all the problems. It tries to do it alone, completely forgetting about the resource and the asset, the friend of the body. And so if we can normalize emotion and normalize discomfort, and we do that through brain spotting in a protected session, the beauty of it is, as the facilitator, I hold space. I call in guidance. I attune my nervous system to a calm, peaceful, healing state. And I envelop you in the love of your Creator, creating a safe place that will allow you to access that memory and that trauma or whatever comes up. And what we do is we can use a pointer. I'm finding that natural gaze spotting is working a little bit better for people, that there is some pressure behind where's the right spot, and do I have to hold it, and if it moves, what if I look away, what if I want to stretch, what if I want to close my eyes, right? The brain's getting involved. We don't want that. So I tend to look down and to the left when I'm accessing some kind of memory. That's my natural gaze spot. So for you, when I call up the question, what do you want to work on today, or what trauma would you like to work on today, or what level of unworthiness are you feeling right now, you will find a natural gaze spot. And through the optical nerve, by staring at that spot, the optical nerve is accessing the limbic brain. Look at the thumbnail of this video. It will demonstrate for you how they're directly connected. And so by naturally gazing on this spot, we allow access to the limbic brain. I'm holding space for you and creating a state of nervous system that you can entrain to. And just like a tuning fork helps to tune a piano, your nervous system will then train to mine as I hold space for you and keep you safe. And you will get a sense of your nervous system will say, oh, okay, this is where we need to be. It's safe. It's okay to allow release and access. So you're naturally gazing, you're accessing the limbic brain, you're feeling safe, loved, and cared for. And then we call our attention and our focus to the body. And in the body, we find where we are most activated when we call up the memory of being abandoned, being abused, whatever comes to mind. We trust that what comes up is right where we need to be. And then we keep our focus and our attention on that feeling in the body. And likely in the beginning, the intensity will be high. 5, 6, 7 on a scale out of 10, sometimes 8, 9, 10. And that's okay. And I hold diligently, and sometimes it's like assistance comes through. Not sometimes. It's pretty consistent every time, and it's so beautiful how much is available in support. And the beauty is, as I hold that space, you are on the other side, feeling that feeling, riding the waves as it ebbs and flows. And things will come to mind. Maybe it's a memory in childhood, or maybe it's your body offering you a resource. Maybe it's the feeling of being rocked and nurtured and held. Then it might move. We've ridden the wave, we've peaked, it was very uncomfortable, it was a high 10, and then we come back down and the body resources and it holds you and it loves on you. And then you get an image of the guy who cut you off last week. Can't figure out how that's connected, doesn't really matter. We trust that whatever comes up is perfect as it is. And we ride that wave. And then somehow there will be a connection and it will make sense. And you'll see, oh, that triggered me because I felt rejected the way my mom rejected me, or whatever your story might be. And we can do this for 5 minutes, we can do this for 10 minutes. I did it for hours at a time this past weekend for 3 days straight. I do it regularly with my therapist for probably 20 to 30 minutes each session. The more you do it, the more layers you peel back, the closer you get to the core, raw, authentic you. You start to taste freedom. The stillness. The rightness. The feeling of having a team. Not having to go it alone anymore. The brain doesn't have to figure it out. The body is so smart. So powerful. Creator's source energy courses through your veins, through your lungs, through every cell in your body. We've been trying to do it on our own. This is just another level of support. So as you can tell, I am very excited. I cannot wait to figure out a way to get this to everyone globally. I tend to be a really big picture type thinker. I can't help but wonder how we touch every single person globally with this beautiful modality. It's going to be in schools before I die. It's got to be a basic life skill. This is like living 101. And it's absolutely insane that it's not in schools. So my first thought on how do I share this with you, how do I share this with the world, is I'm going to do Freedom Fridays. We're going to attempt this Friday a live, free group Brainspotting session. So if you would like a taste of this, I am happy to share it with you, and I'm so excited. I have never done a YouTube live, so that'll be fun. I am also going to try to do this in tandem in Facebook. So I know that there are services out there that can help me do this, so I'm digging into that now. And so I will be live on Facebook as well as YouTube at 11:11 Central Standard Time, or Central Daylight Time, I guess would be the appropriate way to say that. So yeah, join me. It'll be fun. And you don't have to go after the big kahuna. You don't have to wrestle the big bear, if you don't want to go after trauma, if you want to just address maybe tiredness, right? That could be enough to give you a taste of what is available to you. And I'll teach you the skill. It is something that we can do partially on our own, although the attunement collectively is huge. So that's going to be another amazing part of this, is for all of us to do this together. And I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If it goes well, maybe we'll do it more often. But I'm calling it Freedom Friday because this is amazing, and you gotta see this, you guys. Okay. All right. I'll contain my excitement, not to overwhelm you. All right. That is all for today. That is how brain spotting works. I'm excited to share this with you on Friday. And if you want to reach out, comment below, or send me a direct message if you happen to see this through Facebook. And I can answer any questions that you might have in the meantime. And please don't be shy about posting a comment with a question, because know that you are never alone. There's always someone else who has a question, and you are serving others by being seen and asking for what you need. And of course, we all need more healthy, whole, and complete, healed individuals who are stepping into their life purpose so that we can help build the new earth, which is what everything is all about as far as the work that I do. So that is my commitment to you. You are my why. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are perfectly imperfect for your purpose. The world needs you. We need you to come to a healed and whole place so that we can help collaborate, come together, and build the new earth. All right. I love you, my friends. And I will see you on the next video. Links below if you want to connect me for other resources. I won't go into that today. All right. See you guys on the next video. Bye.